All right. Welcome, everyone. We are back. We are live and we are on Facebook. We are on Twitter. All right. And we are on. We are back. We are live and we are. Something's playing back. Hold on a second. Facebook. We are on Twitter. And we are on. We are back. We are live and we are. Something's playing back. Hold on a second. We are on Twitter. And we are on. We are back. We are. There you go. I have like 15 windows open trying to control everything. So sorry about that. All right. So we're live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And I want to go ahead and just get some reminders out of the way before we get started and introduce our staff and participants of this live stream. So I would like everyone to please, if you have the opportunity, share this live stream with fellow students that you know or people that could take advantage of the information that we're going to be talking about. Today, we'll be talking about fall registration and the process that it entails. And we are going to have lots and lots of information for you guys. So it'll be on Facebook and YouTube, so you can go back and watch it if you have any questions, or if you also like, you can leave us a question in the comment section. And we have several people that are monitoring the comment section, and they will answer your questions as best they can and as fast as they can. And also what I'll do is after the live stream, I'll go back and go through all the questions and make sure that everyone gets their questions answered. If I can't answer it, I certainly can point you into the right direction to people who are way smarter than me and can answer all your questions. Leave those questions or comments in the comment section, and we have several people that are monitoring all the different platforms that we're streaming on, and we'll try and get your questions answered as best we can. All right, let's introduce our panel, I guess. We're going to start with Brenda Cantu. She is the library director. We also have Irma Garcia, who is the director of business office. Michael Cortez, who is the testing center specialist. Steve Martinez, the Swtjc registrar. We have Yvette Mireles, director of financial aid. And we also have Yesenia Silva, senior director of student services. And they will be participating in our live stream, our live information session. And they'll be giving us all the information that we need when it comes to fall enrollment. So I'd like to get started with, right now we are we're at the tail end of fall registration. And so that is going to end here very soon. And also our first day of class is, anyone?
Monday, August 22nd.
There you go, Monday, August 22nd. So Thursday, our faculty come back and we're going to do convocation. And that's real exciting because we get to have people on campus again. For those of you who work like me through the summer, we don't see very many people, but once the faculty and the students get back on campus, it's pretty cool because, you know, we got a pretty lively campus. So we're going to get started with I think we're going to get started with Steve, because I think Steve is the person that gets this whole thing going. So Steve is the registrar, so he works in admissions. And give us just a very brief overview of what the admissions process is and how to get started at SWTJC, whether you're a returning student or a new student.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Gizmo. So our admissions team is here to welcome you, as we are the office that, you know, will welcome you to the college and also see you out on your way out for transfer or graduation. So our teams are here to assist you with applying for admissions. Now, as a new student, you'd apply via Apply Texas. And once we receive your application, then we will provide you with an acceptance letter that will provide information as far as your supporting documentation to meet admissions requirements, such as TSI placement information, high school or college transcripts, bacterial meningitis vaccination, and orientation. So once we've gotten this information, it gives a more complete picture for your success coach once you're in their office for class planning and registration to move forward with that process, while simultaneously, we're also directing you to complete your FAFSA application, which is your federal application for free student aid, so that you can have your tuition eligibility for Pell Grant.
All
As
right.
a,
Well,
as a former student, I would like to also add, if you're a former student of SWTJC, we have a shorter path, which is known as a readmission form. So simply, it's just to update your information. Should you have been away from the college for, say, 2-3 years, information may have changed, such as address, phone numbers, emails. And so we want to make sure to have that up-to-date information, not only for your student account, but also for security information, such as, student alerts, campus alerts, for our services offices to be able to communicate with you and provide that information.
all right. Well, I appreciate that. That's very useful information, especially for students who are, on the fence. They don't really know how to get started. But I do want to mention that we were talking in our meeting yesterday when we were getting ready for this, was that so explain what the issues might be for somebody who wants to start either the 16-week semester or the first 8-week semester at this point.
Okay, so at this point, our 16-week and first 8-week semesters are going to begin, as we mentioned, on Monday, August 22nd. The turnaround time for the processing can take a few business days, being that we're processing so many student applicants in the order that they're received. So the crunch time between getting your admissions requirements met, a student success coach meeting, financial aid, your FAFSA to get completed, it could take some time. So it is important to be aware of our academic calendar on when payment deadlines are due, when the first day of class begins. As a matter of fact, for this week, we're under a pay-as-you-go option. So should that information not be completed, it'd be pretty hard to get you into the first 8-week semester. However, the beauty of the 8-week semester classes that we have in our schedule now allows you to get that information in on time to begin for our second 8-week semester, which is going to begin on October 17th. So you don't necessarily have to wait like the traditional sense of waiting to the very next full semester in January. You still have the opportunity to enter in the fall semester of 22 so that you can still get started. And again, for the 8-week classes, I'd like to touch that, one of the primary reasons that we offer the 8-week classes is for flexibility. If there's some students that, again, you may be a little bit late in the game due to life happens. We understand that, but we're still here to accommodate you to get into that same semester. So that can help you still get the credits that you're seeking for classes. So an example that I can provide for 8-week semesters is that in your traditional 16-week semester, that's going to go from the latter part of August to early December. By the time you hit midterms, that's around October, you're halfway done with the class. With the 8-week semester, you're already accumulating and earning college credit by that time, whether you're taking first 8-week semester or second 8-week semester. So in the second 8-week semester, starting October 17th up until December 9th, you'll have that opportunity to earn college credit.
Wow. Well, that's a lot of information. You must be looking at my questions, because that was actually the next question I was going to have was about the 8-week semesters and its flexibility and the benefits of having 8-week courses. So I'm going to move on to, so the process, as I understand it, is you apply Texas, right? You go apply Texas.
Correct.
If you're a brand new student. And so what would be the next thing that a student should do in the process?
It's always going to be financial aid. As I mentioned earlier, simultaneously, you want to make sure that you complete your FAFSA, being that it is 2 separate applications. There's your applications for admissions, but there's your application for FAFSA. And so the FAFSA is going to give you that eligibility, potential eligibility for a Pell Grant, for student work studies, student loans if necessary, and institutional grant monies that may be available. So it's helpful that you're doing that simultaneously. So the same day you do your admissions application, same day you want to do your FAFSA as well. The earlier, the better for you, being that, again, it is a process, being that they are going to be worked on in the order received. So
Right.
most of the time, we offer the early registration period for our summer and fall registrations. So we're starting to register in April. So, pretty much tax time when you're doing your tax returns is a good time to start your FAFSA application.
Well, good. That's a perfect segue, because now we are going to talk to the lady who is in charge of all the money. And I would recommend that every student that's applying here be very nice to this lovely lady, Yvette Mireles, who is the financial aid director. So just if you can just kind of piggyback off what Steve was talking about, financial aid and what the process is.
Good morning, everybody. Yes, I am the director for the financial aid department. So all students should complete a FAFSA. That we highly recommend that you do that. And you're going to go to the fafsa.gov for this school year, for the 22-23 school year. You can do your FAFSA at any time right now. For the next school year, October 1st, you're going to be able to start your new FAFSA for the 23-24 school year. So we are way ahead of the game. So we want y'all to be way ahead of the game also, and be ready and be prepared to come to school. We do offer the Pell Grants. We do offer state grants. We do offer student loans. We have scholarships. There's lots going on in the financial aid department. We utilize a lot of the documents in the self-service. If you need assistance with self-service, let us know. If you need your sign-on or your email address or your PIN number, you can always contact the IT department and they can help you.
So what are some of the issues that some students have when it comes to financial aid? Because it's a very, it's a lengthy process, and it's dealing with the government, and that's never easy, right? So,
correct. We deal with the federal guidelines, and that's what we follow. And so we receive the FAFSA, and sometimes students are required to turn in additional documents. And that's where we're delayed sometimes with the awarding of those students. But again, we've made it very simple. You go to your self-service, you complete your form, upload your form, and we receive it. So then we can continue with the process of awarding the students.
So what is the best way for them to keep track of everything that's going on with FAFSA? Because it could happen from one day to the next that they need to submit a certain document, or they need to do something. And so what's the best way to communicate that with them? And what I'm asking is, should they be monitoring a specific email, the app?
Yes, email. We email all requirements to the students, but we also document that information in your self-service. So if you go to your self-service, you'll see you're missing a document, and you'll be able to upload it on there. But review your email constantly, because that is where and that's your school email, not your personal, your school email that you will need to be reviewing.
Yeah, y'all guys must be psychic. I was just about to say that it's the school email that you need to check regularly, and make sure that you have all your either documents in, or you make sure that you've done anything that the process is asking you to do. So thank you very much, Yvette. I appreciate that. That's a lot of good information. So before I move on to the next thing, I want to say that I forgot to mention somebody who is joining us as well, and that is government instructor and presidente of the Faculty Association, and that's Miss Aviera Haynes, who's always participating in these things with us, helping make our SWTJC community a whole lot better. So. All right, we have one question here. It's popping up somewhere. Here it is. What about those eligible for Chapter 35 VA benefits? Okay. So, Steve, you oversee the Veterans Affairs?
Correct. So myself and Miss Rosie Rodriguez are the liaisons for SWTJC in regards to education benefits for military veterans or dependents. So Chapter 35 is known as a dependent education assistance program for dependents, and in some cases, spouses of military veterans. So the main thing when it comes for education benefits via the military is going to be that we obtain your letter of eligibility. So there is an online application that the VA requires to be submitted to the VA regional office, and it's done online. So either myself or Rosie can assist, or we can provide you with the link to provide that information. So it's similar to an admissions application, but some of the information is going to be specific to only what the veteran knows. So it's important to have the military veteran on hand, or at least the information that's coming from the DD 214, which is known as a discharge form, so that you can apply for that. Typically with the eligibility criteria for dependent education assistance under Chapter 35, there's usually a rating of disability that's provided by the VA in order to qualify for that particular benefit. Otherwise, it's going to go back to the standard GI Bill. But specifically for dependents and spouses of a military veteran, that is going to be the criteria that's going to be required.
Thanks, Steve. So moving on to the business office, I'm going to talk to Ms. Irma Garcia, who always is in charge and, very customer-like service, gives you very, very good customer-like service when dealing with payments, which is not, it's not a nice thing when you have to call somebody and say, hey, or somebody owes money and whatnot. But trust me, if you're going to talk to somebody, the person you certainly need to talk to is Ms. Garcia. She's one of our awesome staff members. So Ms. Irma, so what are some of the issues that you've seen over the last few years that students have when it comes to the payment part of it, which allows them to actually take the classes?
Okay, most of the time what we see here in the office are that students wait till the very last minute to try to get on a payment plan or set up payment arrangements for their tuition. My suggestion to them was don't wait till the very last minute. If you just filed for financial aid and are awaiting approval, get on the payment plan. The payment plan is only available to certain dates, and it has a certain percentage that is required as a down payment. The earlier you get, the percentage is less. Then the later you wait, the percentage is higher that you have to give as a down payment. So it won't be so heavy for you. Just do it as early as you can. If your financial aid comes in at a later point in time, when the financial aid disbursements, the financial aid refunds are going to be issued out, you'll be reimbursed. So one way or the other, if you're waiting for assistance for FA, you'll get reimbursed just at a later point in time. So just don't wait, don't put it off. Reach out to us. If you need assistance with a payment plan, we can help you. We can walk you through it. All campuses are available. We also have a payment that you can pay in full online through our website if you need to. They are like Ms. Mireles mentioned, there's scholarships that you can apply that we can, if you qualify, be applied towards your tuition. It'll be less, so then it's going to be a less down payment. So just don't wait till the very last minute. That would be my best suggestion to anybody. Do it as soon as possible, as soon as you can, and reach out to us. Always reach out to us, and we'll be available as much as we can.
Yeah, so that's one thing that I wanted to emphasize, that I think some students have the issue that they're afraid. I know when I was in school here and, I needed to get my, accounts squared away. I was afraid to go in there because they're going to yell at me, because I hadn't paid my whatever. And but no, that's not the case. I mean, I guarantee that there is not one person on this campus, as far as staff and faculty, that don't want to help a student to make sure that they get into the classes that they need to get into. And, they'll work with you. I mean, we've seen situations where they'll do what they have to do to help you to get into those classes, obviously. But the first step is you have to reach out to the right people and talk to them and say, look, I'm having an issue with XYZ. Can you help? And more than likely they can help you. So thank you, Irma. I appreciate that. So I want to move on with to Mr. Michael Cortez. He seems like he's anxious to talk and, probably has a whole. So your involvement, you are the testing center specialist. So TSI, that's one of the most important things, I suppose. I suppose it's one of the important parts of the process that needs to be done for students to get into classes. So at this point, what can you tell us about the testing center and what your involvement is in the fall enrollment process?
Good morning, everyone. Like I said, my name is Michael Cortez. I deal with the testing center, which is located here at the Uvalde campus in the Miller building. An important thing is for all the exams that we do offer at the testing center, whether it be the TSI A2, the CLEP exam, GED, TCO, we offer these exams all year round. We create the schedule every Monday. So usually one of the big questions we get is, what dates do you have available? When are you going to post new ones? Every Monday morning, we create a new schedule and we post it online. And we're in our offices Monday through Thursday, 8 to 12 noon, and then 1 to 6. Friday, we're here 8 to 12 noon. If you have any questions, need any help, you're not seeing anything, or you're unsure of something, give us a call, send us an email. We literally have multiple emails open, and we have all our phones forwarded to our lines just so we can help you guys. One of the biggest things is for every exam, we do require photo ID, usually driver's license, state ID. But if you're unsure, again, reach out to us. We're here to help y'all. So if you have any questions, you have any uncertainties, just reach out to us. We'll help you out.
So another thing is, so the testing center, like all the other services, financial aid, admissions, they're all offered on the 3 major campuses, or is that correct?
So the testing center, we only have one located here at the Uvalde campus. But whenever we have TSI coming up for like the big semesters, we try to offer the exam at every other location. Only thing with the TSI is we are only able to offer it when we have staff available at the Del Rio, Eagle Pass, and Crystal City campus. But here at Uvalde, we test year round.
And so during COVID, there was an instance where testing center was doing online. Is that correct? Or did I? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir. We had remote testing available. We still try to offer it when we can. Usually after the August semester, once everybody gets in, then we start trying to offer more remote dates.
And so and the process.
Sorry.
The process for that is the same
Yes, sir, it's exactly the same. Whenever you fill out your information on the testing center website, you just put remote testing. Most of the times though, if you don't see a date, again, just call us and we'll work with you. We tend to gather data. So any emails, any calls we get about certain tests, we mark down so that when we create our schedules, we know what we have to offer more of.
All right, appreciate it, Michael. So we'll move on to Ms. Silva, Yesenia Silva, who is the Senior Director of Student Success Services, and she oversees the student success coaches who advise all the students. And Ms. Silva, can you give us just a brief rundown of what students are in store or is in store for the students when they sign up for an appointment with you guys?
Yes, good morning, everybody. Yes, most definitely, your success coach will become your best friend. And so we're here to help you with campus resources and get you registered for classes. We have in-person appointments and virtual appointments. So if you live out of town and want to save gas, and you can definitely schedule your virtual appointment with your assigned success coach. So we have pathways built and your success coach assigned. You can go to our website under login and then to advising appointments and select your assigned success coach, schedule with them, and we can help you through using student planning is the tool that we help register students through self-service. And that is a great tool. It keeps you on track of what classes you need to take. And we're just here to help. We have campus resources. Also, we have free tutoring. We have virtual free tutoring. We have disability support services and mental health. We also help with the STEM, and our STEM club is very active. We also have our transfer and career center. And we have a career closet that's being developed on our campuses to help with job interviews, resumes. We help students transfer out, plan the courses they need for their universities to transfer. We also have our technical programs that we focus on, and you definitely check in with our students at different points of their, of their semesters and as they're, going through their classes. And eventually the end goal is definitely graduation.
So you mentioned the student planning tool. So that's something that I wanted to, focus on a little bit. So because it is something that can be very helpful to a student. But it's only available, well, I guess it's available for everyone, but for first-time students, there's I mean, they're not able to use it the very first time they're going to register. Is that correct?
No, they start using
Oh, okay.
student planning. So the way that they log into their email is the way they log into self-service. And we are here to help them, guide them through what we have available, whether it's first, second 8 weeks, how to plan their schedule, whether they work, what options they have. And so it's a good thing to definitely schedule an appointment with us so we can help.
I guess that's what I was trying to get at, is that, it's recommended that the very first class that you're going to take with SWTJC is that it's better to, go and a face-to-face advise, to get face-to-face advising with one of the student success coaches, just because they can give you a lot more in-depth information. And, if there's any confusion about how to use the student planning tool, I mean, they can certainly answer all your questions at that time. And so the student success coaches, so they're doing what they do, and that's on all campuses. So we have several here in Uvalde, and we have a few in Del Rio, Eagle Pass, and also in Crystal City. So there's plenty of help that that you can get wherever you decide to go to take classes. Moving on to the next thing, the library is a very important resource, especially at the very beginning of your career at SWTJC. And we're going to talk to Ms. Brenda Cantu, who is the director of the library. And we were talking, and I didn't know that they offer as much as they do. I should have known that, right? But I guess I didn't. So, Ms. Brenda, can you kind of give us a rundown of what the libraries offer and where are their locations?
Hello. Hi, my name is Brenda, Director of Libraries. So basically we have locations at all main campuses and in Crystal City. So you have your Uvalde, Del Rio, Eagle Pass, and Crystal City. The hours do vary per location. Start hours there's a little difference, but normally we're open from 7:30 to 9 p.m. at night, Monday to Thursday, and Fridays from 7:30 to 4, and Sundays 1 to 6. Keep in mind that the hours, like I said, do vary. We offer IDs. The library is where you come to get your student ID. So your first ID is free. Replacements are $25. I know it's a little steep, but keep in mind you gotta be responsible. We also do books. You have a 3-week checkout. You can check out up to 6 items at a time. There are fines for late fees, but they range from 25 cents per day per book. Max is $10, so we cap it to where we're not going to continuously charge you. We do offer 24/7 access to our databases online, and we have it here also on campus. If you're off campus, we do require you to log in like you do with your Canvas or your email to have access. We offer workshops throughout the semester, so you can come in, join a workshop on either campuses. On our library homepage at the bottom, there's a little area that says events. So you'll look there for events that are happening on your campus. And usually we do label them by location. But if it's Zoom, you're welcome to join in from either location, whatever your location you're at. We do have Chromebooks. That's our most important one. So you ask yourself, how do I get a Chromebook? Basically, you got to get your ID taken care of first. You come to the library. There is a quick little quiz, and it's not hard. It's just basically how to use the device. You complete that. It automatically sends us an email, and then you have access to check out one of our Chromebooks. Right now, the time frames are varying. We are going back to, normally it was 2 weeks. We pushed it down to about a month. You can always come back in and renew it every month. We just want to make sure the device is still functioning and working, and you can continue to check it out as long as you need it.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Cantu. I have a question here, and so I wanted to ask, so what courses, this is going to be, I'm going to direct this to Ms. Silva. What courses are being delivered in the 8-week semester?
So we have different formats of classes, whether they're in-person, Zoom, hybrid, or online options. And we do have all of our social and behavioral science courses available. And our math and science are really available in a 16-week period, we do have some anatomy courses that are first and second 8 week.
And so, and I wanted to emphasize that, so I think students from here on out are going to be seeing this change where SWTJC, and if I'm not mistaken, many colleges around the country are going to this 8-week delivery mode, because again, as Mr. Martinez mentioned earlier, it's flexible. I think it's a little more beneficial for a certain type of student, mainly non-traditional students that just can't quite make it to campus 16 weeks in a row. But so you also have the ability to take early on in the semester or later on in the semester, or both. And so you mentioned, Ms. Silva, that the 16-week semesters are more for like your math and sciences that they're not as, I guess, they're just not 8-week semester friendly, I suppose, because of, I'm assuming that's because of labs and just more rigorous work, I suppose. So what's been the response from students about the 8-week semesters?
I would say the good thing about 8-week courses is that you can focus on 2 or 3 max, during one 8-week course period, and then you can focus on, another 1 or 2 classes during the second 8 weeks. So it gives you time to concentrate on a few courses and be more successful. It is easier for a working person as well. And so we're able to also give a full schedule when students take both 8-week sessions.
So, and just to go back to the delivery mode of the classes, so we have a mixture of hybrid, face-to-face, and then now I guess Zoom. In person, there you go. Mm-hmm. And so are we seeing a lot of students come back more on campus now? And, we had that 2-year, with COVID and all that, but I seem to think that there's more students coming back on campus. I don't know. So, but what about you? What do you think?
Yes, most definitely. We're excited to have our students back on campus, get them registered in person, get that personal connection again built. So we're definitely excited to have them on campus.
So so there was one question that I had from a student, and this was actually yesterday. So, and I don't know, I think Miss Irma Garcia, there she is, she's there. She wasn't on there a little while ago, and she was having some connection issues, but I wanted to ask her about housing, because we have our housing available. And, I think that also is part of the issue sometimes, that, students want to come to campus and experience the whole student life on campus, that sort of thing. So what are we looking at as far as like the pricing for housing?
As far as I know of, let's see, I think the check-in date is going to be tomorrow, August 17. We're very excited because we're at full capacity. So that means, we're opening up all the dorms for everybody. So that's a really, really good excitement for the college. There is payment plans also available for those dorms for payment in full. You have the option to get either renovated or unrenovated rooms. You have options to set up specific meals that, some students have specific schedules. Some technical programs have specific schedules, courses. So there's specific plans available for the students to choose. They don't necessarily have to choose, set fixed ones. So they have options to choose. All they have to do is just come by, let us know when they're filling out their contract or their dorm application. We let them know what their options are and what's available and the pricing on it.
So what part of the registration process does that happen? Does that happen so after they get advised and they sign up for classes, do they go talk to you guys, the business office, to be able to get into that contract?
Correct. They come over, or if they haven't visited the website already, to download the application and kind of get information concerning the dorms. They also have to make sure that they do have, like Mr. Martinez mentioned, the meningitis shots available and accessible because they have to be in place before they move in to the dorms. But they get a lot of that information. All of that is available on the dorms. And if they don't, just like I said, give us a call or come by. We'll explain it. Also, the RAs are very, very helpful in providing them that information as well.
Yeah. So again, as you mentioned earlier, tomorrow will be the move-in date for the dorms. So we're excited because we're going to have a welcome, I suppose. It's going to be in Hubbard Hall. And so, but everybody's supposed to check in at Hubbard Hall, and then those who are in Garner Hall will be escorted over to Garner Hall and, check out your rooms and whatnot. But we're going to be at Hubbard Hall tomorrow morning. We're going to have several people from different departments there hanging out, providing information. So we're looking forward to that. I have another question. This is coming through our Twitter. And so this question is going to Miss Yvette Mireles because it deals with financial aid. So financial aid, how does the 8-week semesters affect financial aid? Do they have to apply twice?
Oh, no. They're considered in this one semester for the fall semester, whether you're in the first 8 weeks or the second 8 weeks. We take that and we total them, and that'll be what your award will be based on.
So will they get their refund? They'll get 2 refunds, one after each 8-week semester?
No, will be one refund. I wrote the refund date, September 30th. I want to let y'all know.
That's what everybody cares about. That's all they care about.
Yeah. So September 30th. And we do still have the bookstore open. The bookstore will be open for charges through September the 14th. So
yeah. So thank you. So that's another thing, the bookstore. And so they're available, and you can go and find them on our website, and there's plenty of information, all their hours and how to rent a book and how to buy books and whatnot, your supplies that you need for your different classes. So I will say that, the best resource for information is going to be our website, swtjc.edu. We have lots and lots of information. We also have the live chat where people can go and ask questions about, really everything and anything SWTJC. So I encourage you guys to do that if you are in need of some information. I think we've pretty much reached all. Oh, wait a minute. We still need one more.
I have one more addition.
Comment. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. We do have work study positions available, and we're high in demand for work study. So if you're interested in working on campus at any of our departments that do hire work studies, please come by the financial aid office, whether it be Uvalde, Del Rio, Eagle Pass, Crystal City. We are in, like I said, dire need of work studies. So
how does that process work? Because I was a work study here many years ago. How does that process work?
Well, they have to, and at this time when they fill out their application, we check to make sure that they have a need and they're eligible for work study. And so the departments will let us know, this is how many I want or whatever it may be. So we forward them the applications, and, and then they contact the students and they'll hire their students. So, and definitely all our departments will work with the students with their schedules.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. Work study positions available. You get a little cash while you study. So that's always a good deal. Moving on to our next person. So we get to the part where we need to talk about safety. And we have our life safety person, which is Alonso Sanchez, who actually is right next door to me. I could actually just get him to come over here, but he's on his computer. Or maybe not. Yeah, there he is right there. Mr. Alonso.
Yes, I'm here.
All right, there you are, man. I know you were probably out there doing safety things. I don't know what you were doing, but safety things, I'm sure. But all kidding aside, so safety is, as we know, after the events of May 24th, safety is a big topic on especially schools and colleges. And so SWTJC, along with a bunch of other organizations across the state, are doing their part and doing more to provide safety and protection for the college communities, whether it be students, staff, faculty, or just visitors on campus. And I'm going to let Mr. Sanchez, he'll kind of give us the highlights of some of the processes and protocols that SWTJC is doing to make sure that our community is safe.
Thank you, sir. Well, as you know, my name is Alonso Sanchez, and I am the Safety and Security Coordinator here for Southwest Texas Junior College. Not just here in Uvalde, but also for Del Rio, Eagle Pass, and Crystal City, and of course, all of our satellite campuses. Yes, and safety is at the forefront of just about every institution, every district, just because of the recent events. But, my job is to implement what we have in place and then find effective ways to make sure that they are used to their fullest potential. One thing to highlight, and we are now implementing, is the standard response protocol that was founded by the I Love You Guys Foundation. We felt that was the way to go, and it just made way too much sense not to go that route. And just to kind of define what the standard response protocol, also known as the SRP, in short terms, it is the verbiage you will see or receive and instructions you may need to follow in case of an emergency. We have mass notifications in place at the moment, and all different safety platforms. That being said, please, I shared with Mr. Ismael, that if I can post our handouts that we have for the students and staff. Just familiarize yourself with it. And if you have any questions in regards to that, feel free to call me, email me, which way I am available. They're both in English and in Spanish, so they're there for us. And as I've mentioned, our mass notifications will reflect the SRP, the standard response protocol. And there are 3 ways that we will communicate to our institution in case of an emergency. One is through our Safe App. That's number one. That's our primary. Another one is through by tele command for our smart boards. With the smart boards, if I can explain, last semester, or actually fall semester 2021, we had an incident, and we were sending our notifications through our Safe App. Turns out that not all instructors have their phone out to where they can see, hey, we got this notification. It had to come from an outsource from Eagle Pass, say, hey, something's going on over here. Why are we still having class? That came to light, and we are now using our smart boards. So if you're an instructor, or even if you're doing a virtual class and something is going on, it'll bypass this message, or this notification will bypass anything that's going on, and will let you know what's going on. It'll tell you, our protocol, whether it be hold, secure, lockdown, and or shelter in place. Another one is through our single wire Informacast. That's our phones, our desktop phones. I know here in Uvalde, we have phones in every classroom, and our mass notification does send a annunciation, a verbal annunciation to that phone. What else is there? Some other precautions that we're currently working on are access control. So these cards that we have, that's going to be a way to access your buildings. We're also looking into additional campus PD throughout the institution, not just here, but all over our institution, Del Rio, Crystal City, and Eagle Pass. Something else is we're hardening our doors. Some of our doors are very easy to enter, and we took a hard look at that, and we have done a risk assessment, also known as a threat assessment. We had an outsourced company come in and kind of analyze our institution, our campus as a whole. And we got that report in yesterday. So we're having a meet today, and we're gonna prioritize where we need the most work. And that's kind of the highlights of what we're working on right now. And like I said, if there's any questions you have, feel free to reach out to me.
Thank you, Alonso, or Mr. Sanchez. So one thing that, I want to emphasize from the information you gave us. So one of the best things that students, faculty, and staff can do is to download the Swtjc Safe App. And you can find it on the Play Store or the Google Play Store or the App Store if you are a iPhone, iOS user. And once you get that, you're gonna get lots of information. And so you're going to get whether we're in a lockdown mode or in a shelter in place mode. And it just provides a lot of information to keep everyone safe. And I understand sometimes, we just don't pay attention to a lot of those things. But I think with everything that's happened over the last few months, I think that is at the forefront of everybody's just concern. So I appreciate that. So we also have, and we're kind of running out of time here, but I want to get Miss Aviera Haynes to talk to us a little bit about her perspective from an instructor, faculty member, and also just to kind of give us an update of incoming faculty, which they'll be here this Thursday. Miss Haynes, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you, Mr. Martinez. It's good to see everyone, and I really look forward to actually seeing everyone on campus again. I'm that instructor that wants everybody in class so we can hash out what the government is doing. If we can solve that, we can solve the world's problems, right? And so I'm really looking forward to being back on campus, having students. That is the most fun part of all of this. It's not necessarily the teaching part for me, it's being with students. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I think faculty in general are ready to get back, hopefully. And we'll kind of get back to, I guess, maybe what our normal is. So I kind of wanted to piggyback a little bit on the 8-week. I know we've talked a lot about that, but our division, Ms. Silva mentioned the social behavioral sciences is completely 8-week. And the thing about that is that's a lot of your core classes that you have to take. History, government, English, psychology, economics, a lot of those are in that division. And so it's very, I think it's great. It's worked out well. We've been doing them to some degree for a year or so. So faculty in that division, we have a pretty good grip on it. So you're not going to be lost. And it helps you concentrate on that subject. And before you know it, really 8 weeks is not that long. So, you stick in there with us and finish it. And before you know it, you've got your 3 hours credit of government, or 3 hours credit of history. I currently have a student that lives with me, my daughter, and she much prefers the 8-week courses. She when she signed up for this semester, she went looking for 8-week courses very specifically. And then of course, all the modes of instruction as well, purely online for those that are working and you're trying to, raise your family and work and everything. It's hard to get to campus. We've got online. We've got Zoom that's connected with those in-person classes. Come to campus, be with us in class as well. A lot of those are what we consider a hybrid course, where part of your work is just an assignments done online. And then for a couple of days, you're in the classroom as well. So you get a good mix of the different modes in that as well. So a lot of different modes of instruction as well for you to choose from, what your learning style is and what is going to fit your schedule best. We have it for you.
So I have a question about the hybrid courses. So when you say hybrid, so part of it is Zoom and part of it is face-to-face, is that correct?
Yeah, well, no, part of it will be most likely, it will be some students may be in the classroom and others on Zoom at the same time. So you would have that designated time period where you met during class, whether it be in the classroom or Zoom. But then you would have assignments, projects that you would be doing outside of class hours that would be on our learning management system campus.
So the student has the option to either be on Zoom or face-to-face.
In most classes, yes.
And so what determines, or what are some of the factors that determine, okay, well, today I'm going to be on Zoom. So in other words, if you have a Tuesday, Thursday class, on Tuesday you can be on Zoom, and then on Thursday you can be face-to-face?
It's going to be running at the same time. So students would most likely students are either going to be in the classroom for every class period, or they will be on Zoom every class period.
Okay. That's good to know. Just questions I think that, students are going to ask, because if anybody has their thumb on the pulse of our youth, it's this 46-year-old guy.
And this, yes, I'm even a few years older than you. And I'm sure we definitely have the pulse. Yes.
All right, Ms. Haynes, it's always a pleasure talking to you. I like hanging out with you, so I'm excited for you to come onto campus and we can, do what we do. She's always very involved in some of the events that we do. So speaking of events, we have in the fall semester, we have a lot of events that are coming up, a lot of cool events. One of the very first ones is, of course, tomorrow we're doing our move-in with the dorms at Hubbard Hall and Garner Hall. And obviously we only have dorms in Uvalde at this point. We don't offer dorms in Del Rio and Eagle Pass or Crystal City. After that, we have Palomino Fest. That's coming up here in a few weeks. So that's always exciting. After that, we have our Swtjc Rodeo, which will be in October. And so we have a whole big celebration for that coming up. After that, we have Christmas at the college. We have, before that, we have Turkey Trot and then Christmas at the college. I'm also thinking, what else do we? Oh, the basketball tournament, the high school basketball tournament that we host here on campus. Plus, in between there's those are just the bigger events. In between those, we have smaller events, just stuff that goes on here on campus for our students, and we hope that all our students can be here. And even if you're not on campus taking classes, you're more than welcome to come when we have our events. That way we can see everybody that's here. So I guess we're going to wrap it up. Our questions are pretty much being answered by our staff that's monitoring our comment sections on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. I want to thank Andrea Flores, who's doing a very good job, and she's out there. I also see Miss Rosie Rodriguez, Angelica de Hoyos, Cynthia Martinez, all doing a fantastic job of answering the questions. Again, I'll go back and make sure that we didn't miss any questions, which I don't think we do with as many people we're using to monitor. I have a question here. Yuri and Emmanuel Castro, is that for all classes? I don't know what we were talking about at the time that you sent in that question. I assume that it was about the hybrid classes. And so if that is your question, no, it's not for all classes. Some classes are hybrid, some are every mode, some are just face-to-face, especially the technical program classes. So again, if you have questions, feel free to access our website, live chat. That feature is there and available for everyone who might have a question, and we can try and certainly answer every question. We also get a lot of questions through our social media platforms, and we try and answer those as much as possible and as fast as possible. We're running out of time. I want to thank all our panel guests who are helping us out. I want to thank, and I'm going to go down the list. Hopefully I don't miss anybody. Alonso Sanchez, Ms. Brenda Cantu, Irma Garcia, Michael Cortez, Steve Martinez, Avier Haynes, Yesenia Silva, and Yvette Mireles, all participating this morning. Thank you very much. I hope that this information session was informative. And again, we're here to help you. If you have any questions, send us an email, call us, come visit us. Whatever you have to do, come by, and we'll be more than happy to answer any questions. Again, I'm going to let Steve give us a rundown of what's happening with the dates and information, because those important dates that are coming up.
Okay. So again, first day of class for the 16-week and first 8-week semester is on Monday, August 22nd. Please be aware that if you're already pre-registered, we are under the pay-as-you-go options for this week. Late registration will run up until Tuesday, August 23rd. For the second 8-week semester in this fall 22 semester is going to be on October 17th. Last day of class for first 8-week, second 8-week, and 16-week semester will be December 9th.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Again, everyone, thank you for joining us and participating. For the viewers, thank you. You can go back and watch any of this information and ask questions on that comment section, and we'll be more than happy to add it. So have a great day. Lunch is coming. I got a pizza waiting for me, so I got to go. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it.